The worst retail years in recorded history, and no one knows it more than Ivan Friedman, President and CEO of RCS, Real Estate Advisors. RCS, by the way, has evolved into one of the nation's most respected and experienced real estate advisory firms, providing some innovative solutions for the retail industry. And you saw Mr. Ivan Friedman. He's going to join us now for the C Suite. And Ivan, tell us just a little bit about what exactly it is that you do.
Fine. RCS Real Estate Advisors caters to the retail industry. We provide advisory and execution services through 3 practices.
And so, for example, I see one of your clients was Sharper Image, which we know filed for bankruptcy protection.
Yes.
How would you work with Sharper Image?
Well, we were working for Sharper Image before they filed for bankruptcy and trying to restructure all of their leases. They could not fix their top line in terms of sales, and then subsequently filed for Chapter 11.
Now, without talking to you specifically about Sharper Image, but we're seeing a lot of retailers having a problem with real estate in their real estate portfolios. What is the trend that you're seeing and the mistakes being made or have been made?
Well, that's part of our restructuring and portfolio optimization business practice, which we go out and try to help retailers restructure all of their rents.
So what would that be? You would go and renegotiate some of the rents?
Yes.
And why, for example, would a retailer turn to you instead of just trying to do that themselves? I mean, what service do you actually provide them?
Well, we go to the landlords and we negotiate with them. We negotiate with the landlords every day of the week. We deal with 30 to 40 million square feet of retail space a year.
Are landlords willing to budge on some of these rents?
Well, landlords have to be realistic. Occupancy cost has to be a certain percentage of sales. And if the retailer's expenses in terms of their rent is too high, they'll go into bankruptcy.
So does it seem, though, that some of these landlords are willing to budge, or are some of these retailers really kind of out of solutions right now?
Well, the healthy retailers are focusing on their worst locations, and with sales dropping, their occupancy costs are rising. The landlords are being cooperative with the retailers because they realize that even though the retailers in 2009 have to survive, in 2010 they're going to thrive.
So for someone that has a small business, maybe has their own lease, you know, they're not part of a chain, I mean, what would be some of the advice that you could offer to some of the small business owners out there and how they should deal with their leases?
Well, small business owners would have to go to the landlords and just ask them to reduce the rent.
And as you said, there seems to be some room there. How's the economy affecting your business overall? Is this one of the better times for RCS? How are you surviving this time?
Well, we're doing fine. The growth and development business, which is the expansion of the retailer's footprint, is a little bit slower at this point because very few retailers are expanding to the levels that they did in previous years. But the portfolio optimization and restructuring practice is really thriving right now.
And a lot of people need the help out there.
Yes, all retailers are coming to us and saying, we need to do something with our occupancy costs.
Now, your family's been in retail a long time. I was reading that your family owned a retail shop underneath the apartment that you grew up in Brooklyn.
Yes.
So you've been around retail for a long time. I mean, is there any observations, you know, takeaways from 2008 that you think are really unique to this time period in our history?
Well, this is the first year that we've had sales over Christmas declining instead of increasing. An average Christmas is an increase between 2 and 3 or 4%. And we see that retail was off minus 4% in this holiday season. We haven't seen that, I think, as long as they've been keeping records.
And so that's indication it might be a really busy 2009 for RCS.
Yes, it will be.
And you'll have to come back and tell us a little bit about how your business has changed. Maybe we'll check back in with you in a couple months.
Okay.
Ivan Friedman, thank you very much for joining us today in the C Suite. Certainly a rough time for retail.